What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? What is up? Ooh, excuse me. Goodness gracious. What is up, everybody? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of Stadia Live Session, SLS featuring MM2K on a Monday morning here. Well, it's morning here, but for those of you out like in the UK, you might be like, hold on, this evening here, brother. Afternoon. Damn well evening. What's wrong with you, man? But shout out to all of y'all, no matter what time it is, wherever you're at. Appreciate all of y'all for coming through. Do me a huge favor because I want to, we got a lot to cover and not so much time because we got a late start. So I want to give an opportunity to get your thoughts on something because I got a video that I'm going to drop this afternoon, but I'm going to need y'all help dropping this video because I'm going to be honest. One of these discussions, I'm not, what the hell is that? I'm not the most informed on, and I'm going to need your help. So if you guys and gals can assist me, that'd be great. So I want to turn it over to you, in a lot quicker rate because I normally don't have an opportunity. I don't have the opportunity today, rather, to go as long as I would like to. But that's okay because to this time around, I want to dedicate today to a lot of reflection. And then we're going to talk about this Terraria thing, whatever. All right. But good to see everybody. Thank y'all for coming through. I can't do this without y'all support. Y'all know that, man. We got the homie Victor Maestro. He says, hiya. Calvin Morgan Sr. in the house. He says, what's up? Then we got the homie Shot G. What it do? We got Rome in the house. What's going on, Ro? Yeah, we're going to talk about the Terraria news, man. We got the homegirl, L.A. Smith. He ignored the TOS email he got. His fault. Oh, see, Ellie, this is why I need y'all help. Ellie, if you can blow up the chat today and inform MM2K because I'm not that well versed, you know what I'm saying, and what's going on with that. I got my opinion off the cuff, but I'm going to be fully honest with you. I'm a little slow when it comes to this, but we're going to talk it out with the little bit of time that we have. So shout out to you. We got Joseph Holman in the house. What's going on? Happy Cloud Gaming. Good to see you as always, my good friend. L Boogie. It's Rev. Oh, Rev, what's going on, Rev? So it was good. We in here. We got the homie Sean Wolock. Good to see you, my good friend. And I can't forget Stefan Rabitas. Storm tells me is Stefan. And you know how I am. I butcher stuff. And I apologize. Let me know if I'm pronouncing it right. I ain't seen my homie Goulet in a little bit either. He probably said, you know what, I'm tired of this dude butchering my name. But let me know. Good to see you with the smiley face in the house. Oh, we got my good brother Carlos Jimenez. Carlos. Jonathan is in the house as well, too. But y'all coming in at such a fast rate. I'm clicking on the wrong people. Jonathan Davila, what up? And my good brother Charles Oran always dropping the God degree in the Patreon. Hey, Charles, I ain't forgot about you. That special that I did yesterday, my good friend, is coming to the Patreon soon. So for those of you, because I know you're like our staunchest Patreon supporter, you be like, yo, MM2K, yo, PNTS Network, like, what's the deal? What's the drilly here? Y'all messing around. We gonna get on that, good brother. And I also got a special piece of content that's directly for you as a Patreon member and the others that are Patreon members. So you for your patience, you get an extra goodie bag. But just give me a day or two to sort all that out, my good brother. Mr. Urban World is in the house. Or Stephen, like Stephen King. I got you. Okay, I'm going to roll with that, Stephen. Thank you, my good friend. Basically, he got a terms of service mail from Google, but assumed because he hasn't uploaded new content for 3 months, it was just like a mistake. He assumed correctly and failed to handle the strike. Oh, so he got a copyright strike. Yeah, you know what? Thank you, Ellie. I'm thank you so much for breaking that down for me. And I got some thoughts on that. And then again, continue to educate me as we go through this process. Cold as Ice in the house. What's up, my brother? Good time. Hey, Cold as Ice has been a long time supporter. He's one of those supporters that been rocking out with your boy, since the beginning, man. So I appreciate you coming through. All right, we ain't got a lot of time, y'all. So now he's throwing a fit on Twitter. Mr. Urban World in the house. Okay, I think I got everybody so far. We got to get started, y'all. Ain't got much time, and y'all know I got to pick up my wife. I got to leave out of here at 1. I actually am supposed to be at her job at 1. So I'm putting it all on the line. Oh, dropping bottles everywhere. I'm putting it all on the line for y'all because I love y'all. Hey, ain't nothing some icy hot can't fix, right? Anyway, let me stop playing around. Okay, so I did a special yesterday for our members. Well, first and foremost, let me do this. We don't have a lot of time, but we got a good amount of information that I want to cover. And I don't want to rob anybody of the opportunity, especially if you got a great comment. Now, I get it that in the chat, y'all share banter between each other, which is fantastic. It's great. If you say something in the chat that I miss, because I'm doing this through StreamYard and it's different through StreamYard, do me a huge favor, y'all, if you don't want me to miss it, if it's urgent, if it's something you threw in the chat and I didn't catch it the first time, you can hit that super chat button and I'll go through it. I do the best job that I can with the half a good eye that I got. I'm blind as a bat in so many ways. So please deal with me, in the best way I can. I'm navigating over 3 screens. If you follow my content, you've seen the pictures of my setup. And as my sight is beginning to fade, it's harder for me to navigate. That's what old age does to you. So if I don't catch your comment, hit that super chat button. I'll definitely catch it, and that way I'll stop midstream, get right into what what you're proposing, what you're asking, whatever the case may be. So I wanted to remind folks of that. Also, the special that I'm about to bring up, how you can watch those specials is if you become a member. If you become a member of the channel, and for our videos particularly, you want to be a prescription member or above. If you're a prescription member or above, you get to catch our live streams and our videos. Okay. And we did it. So just hit the join button and you'll get access to that. All right. And we got content that we do regularly. Channel talk, which is coming soon, where we review last week's stuff and get your insight on it. My first look. And we're going to double up this week because we were short last week. So we're doubling up Journey to the Savage Planet, and something else is so you're going to get a double dose this week. And then lastly, the SC After Party. Those are 3 constant pieces of content on top of anything else that I do that might be ad hoc, which is what I did yesterday. Let me run through it real quick. Yesterday, what I did is I did a special show talking about how, just peering into the future. Talking about the evidence that's out there, giving people an explanation of why I feel that what Google did, even though it wasn't, and I liked how this was described, and so I'm going to steal it. It was tone deaf, even though they explained it in a tone deaf fashion. And I get, I've been listening to a lot of people, a lot of takes on this, and I get where it might have been communicated through their business wing, which makes sense, which then further explains it, but it still doesn't excuse it. Because then you're just gonna have to have separate communications. You know what I mean? I mean, I get it. You don't want to be all over the internet with your limbo shirts every 5 seconds like Microsoft. I can see where a Google can detest that. And I can see where Google's like, hold on, we set the industry standard, so we ain't got to do what nobody else does because we're Google. I get all that. But there's just certain situations to where you step out of your box, where you got to look at the inherent risk, the reputation. Like, these are all terms that I know Google's aware of because they're part of our industry, the Fortune 500 world. They make us do classes and read these books and all this other stuff for it. So the reputational risk that Google is absorbing by not addressing this in a full-throated, confident manner, despite whatever your tendencies are or your culture is. And it leads to financial risk too, because as you go to reallocate funds and go for this new Stadia 2.0, that's going to focus more on games. People are going to do what you see a lot of people saying right now they're doing. There's a poll out there by my homie Original Penguin. He's simply asking, with all this news and this uncertainty, this black cloud that's in the air, are you buying any more games from Stadia? And right now, last time I looked at the poll was leading with no. Now, a lot of us here that are watching this live, I appreciate y'all, and including myself, may say to ourselves, there ain't no need for that. It's not that serious. We may say that to ourselves, but it doesn't matter. Perception is 9/10 of the law. And the overwhelming perception is that Stadia is on rocky footing. Now, I can sit here and talk ad nauseum about why it isn't. Give it and speak facts that the overwhelming majority of the evidence, not educated guesses, but evidence supports that this is just a shift in the business model, and it's not a wind down of the retail version of Stadia, but a shift in the business model. It doesn't matter. The way things look, it's easily digestible by the mainstream. We got to understand that as followers and enthusiasts of this platform, we don't have that mainstream mindset. We're not a look outside of the box. We're not sheep. And I hate to put them like that. We're not followers, but they kind of are. They are like that. Hence why advertisers can sit in a room and devolve a psychological plan to learn how to hurt them, and it's successful. There's reason why there's billions and billions of dollars spent on advertisement. It works. And it's definitely effective for those that have a sheep mentality. So that's why I argued last week, you got to do, and I argued in the special, you got to do it. When you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. When you're dealing in gaming and you're dealing with sheep, you got to communicate in a way that is effective towards sheep. You need that sheep. You need them as much as they're not, the independence of thought ain't there. You need them. So you got to be able to communicate with them. You're not going to survive off us. If you were able to survive off us, you wouldn't have made this change in the first place. Let's keep it real. But what I did in this special is I went beyond that, right? I said, let's just play devil's advocate. Despite where the facts go, you know what I'm saying? Despite some of the things that I've been hearing that make sense, a lot more sense as we go over this time period. Let's say if Stadia is doomed. Let's play devil's advocate. Now just bear with me. What are we going to do? You know what I'm doing? I'm going to another cloud platform. I'm sickened to a degree by dedicated device gaming. I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I got a 3070 video Nividia RTX card. I love it in various ways. I got a PlayStation 5. Great console for what consoles are good for. Fantastic. But for the most part, it doesn't touch me in a way that Stadia has touched me as far as convenience, comfortability, just being able to boot up a game. Like I explained to you guys, I had to deal with funerals back-to-back weeks. We were at one funeral and got wind of somebody else close in the family that died while we're at one funeral dealing with one family member. So there it goes again. So my second Saturday, that's why I couldn't do SML for back-to-back weeks. So that second Saturday, I'm a difficult time consoling my wife, consoling our family, and a whole bunch of other stuff that was surrounding, that boom, boom, boom of tragedy, just like nonstop, right? So, what I did is I said, you know what? I'm getting up early. I got my PlayStation 5. I'm gonna play me some Godfall, release some tension before I get ready for another long Saturday, right? Went to go load up my Godfall, and I said Godfall and Days Gone, and it took me 2 hours to get those games downloaded, and it was hideous. And I went to Twitter and I spoke about it. Now some people had some snide things to say because they're dedicated device warriors, but I can't deal with that. Stadia has spoiled me. I've escalated, or damn, I can't even think of the word. I've Evolution. I've evolved. God damn it. That's it. I've Eskimoed. I was coming up with all types of crazy stuff there. I've evolved beyond sitting there waiting for downloads or sitting there waiting for patches. I don't even want to see them anymore. I don't even want to see them. To me, having to wait for patches is like me having to blow into a cartridge in order to get my game started. It was cute. It's nostalgic when you think about when you had to do that, when that's where the technology is at. But I don't want to do that again. There's gonna be no choice. If you gave me a system where I gotta blow into a cartridge and put alcohol in it, remember what we had to do with the NES in order to get cartridges to work? Sometimes I'm chucking that thing out the window. And that's how I feel about Stadia. I don't want to deal with downloads and stuff like that anymore. And in 2021, this new hardware, these new consoles, they haven't made big enough strides to improve on that. 2 hours to download 2 games? Someone said, well, leave your thing in standby mode. Look, for those of y'all that are grown, hairy-chested or hairy-chested men or slick-legged women or whatever the case, or it could be in reverse. Slick-legged men, hairy-chested women, whatever the case may be, that are grown, that have responsibilities, where mom and dad ain't taking care of you, right? You got families and stuff like that. Times may be hard. I'm letting you know, as somebody that used to keep my stuff in standby mode, my Xbox and my PlayStation, when I stopped doing that because I converted to Stadia, that was a $50 rebate that I'm seeing every month on my light bill. I can't go back to that. I'm as a responsible adult seeing that. I'm not doing that for a platform that I hardly play. I gotta leave it sitting in standby. So I done paid $500 for the box. So now I gotta pay an extra $50 a month for you to do something a $0 platform can do. Man, you fly a kite into a thunderstorm with that one, bucko. Not here. They can kick rocks. So with that said, I'm embedded in cloud gaming. So because I'm embedded in cloud gaming, I pose the question, what if Stadia does die? I don't believe it is. Most of you in this chat, I know who follows me. Most of y'all don't believe it is. Y'all may have concerns that range at different levels, but y'all don't believe it is for the most part. But what if it does die? Where are you going to go to next? Now I see the homie Tree Kick in the house here. He says he's a shadow guy. He likes shadow, and that's all right. It's not wrong. That's not wrong with that. I appreciate you, brother. And I'm not shooting you down when I say this, but as far as I'm concerned, shadow just prices itself out of the market for me. I don't like the fact that, again, it's not that bad though. I love Shadow's graphic user interface. I think as far as performance, Shadow is second to Stadia as far as its mobility and its performance. When I moved with Shadow from platform to platform and device to device, Shadow operated way better than GFN, and it was the closest thing that you were going to get to Stadia as far as the balance and performance. Here's Shadow's problem. Number one, it prices itself out of the market, where you only get like for $10 a month or whatever, you get 200 gigs of hard drive space. That's not even enough for Call of Duty right now. So then I got to keep deleting stuff and reinstalling stuff. I ain't got time for that, man. This is cloud gaming. This is supposed to be click, click, play. So really, that's my issue with them. And then secondly, even though I like the graphic user interface, I did run into a couple of problems playing it on like a dongle. But Geforce now has that problem too. Like when you first go, if you're trying to, it's better than Geforce now when you're trying to play on the dongle, because Geforce now can be hideous, especially if you're connecting to something like Ubisoft's store. It's, oh my God. And you try to play off a dongle is ridiculous. But again, because it's a piggyback, it's a catalyst platform. it's difficult to navigate. And again, I'm pure performance. I'm pure performance and convenience. Boom, boom, click, click, boom, as the song goes. So, but no, I can dig it. I can dig whatever you like. If you like it, I love it. And I support and love, the notion of all these cloud platforms. With that being said, let's just say if I do, if Stadia does die. Now, I just talk about what my issues were with Shadow. So I'm not going to just jump on Shadow's case or jump on Stadia's case. We got a sector of the community that want to make it seem like GFN and Amazon can't do no wrong. That GFN is perfect because they're throwing a whole bunch of games at you that work any other type of way. You know what I'm saying? Tree kick. Let's keep it real. Games on Shadow are consistent. GFN, you can bust open one game and have a fantastic experience. Bust open another game and think you on the Atari 2600. No lie. And the megabytes per second that it uses, it needs double the megs for 1080p for you to get great resolution that Stadia omits at 4K. Man, please look, again, they're all great platforms. I support them all. But get away from me with that. GFN is fantastic stuff. I'm sorry, because now that I've gone through the exercise of acting like Stadia is not in existence. It was a mental exercise that I went through. Let's say if Stadia is now that I've been exposed to Stadia, there are just some things that I'm just not willing to roll over for when it comes to other platforms. I need GFN to work on its consistency across. I get that it's easy for you to put a game in there, but I'm a Ruth Chris Steakhouse type dude. I'm not a Golden Corral type dude. For those of y'all that don't know what Golden Corral is a buffet where you go in there and then there's 90 dishes, but 89 of them all smell like cauliflower. I'm not one of those type of dudes. Volume by itself don't do it for me. I need to know that there's a good balance. I need to know that if I buy a game, I'm going to get at least XYZ type of performance. And that's not what you get with GFN. Let alone, most of the major publishers don't want to work with GFN. Those same publishers work with Stadia. So again, great service in many ways. Is it perfect? Is it fantastic? No and no. As far as I'm concerned, especially for those of us that are fans of Stadia that got to deal with the prospect of if Stadia goes away, where do we go next? We go to GFN? Man, there's going to be a lot of grumbling. And let me show y'all something else. You know how we do. How do we do this, y'all? Let me show y'all something. Let's talk about this. This is Ampere Group. This is one of the major firms and analyst groups that talk about different cloud platforms or just gaming, period. Now, this is an article that came out while Geforce Now was clocked in at 4 million. I want you to remember that. Let's see here. They say Nividia has been now Geforce Now is at 6 million. Nividia has been steadily increasing its potential reach for Geforce Now over the last few months. In June 2020, the company announced that it was making apps available on Android TV devices, having originally been focused on Shield TV and blah, blah, blah. So they're saying that, yeah, they're getting a large amount of saturation, which is great. Geforce Now also continues to differentiate itself from Stadia. But listen to this. The challenge for the gaming PC-based cloud gaming service, which require you to bring your own games, is the lack of appealing bundled content on offer. However, Geforce Now has grown into support for over 70 free-to-play games. Again, there's a large volume there, but there's an issue. Now, why did he bring that up? He brought that up because here's the big question. The question of commercial viability remains. And I want to shout out my brother Chase, who's been on this since day one about GFN. And he likes GFN, but he's been keeping it down the middle about them. In its current commercial configuration, The direct-to-consumer Geforce Now offer in North America and Europe is no way profitable as for most users of the services in the free tier. And even the premium subscribers pay a very low monthly price for priority access. So in other words, even though you see publications and entities, Geforce is at 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, hooray! Most of those people are on the free tier, which they're using the server blades, they're using the service, and they're not giving Geforce Now a dime. Because if I play Cyberpunk 2077 on GFN and I just want to play it on the go from my powerful rig, and I go play the free tier while I'm over at my aunt's house, Geforce Now gets none of that money. And that's where the majority of the people on GFN are right now. Now, some of you might be saying, oh, that's one analyst, or this analyst doesn't matter, or whatever. When you look at how this analyst deep dives into GFN, I don't see anybody else deep diving into GFN like that. All they're doing is looking at raw numbers. They're not deep diving, for one. For two, to prove that this analyst knows their stuff, go check out their website and look at what they talk about everything. They give it to everybody. Stadia, GFN, Shadow, everybody. They give it to everybody. And what they say about GFN, about its bundling, at the time that this article came out, this specific article, GFN had no bundling. Directly after this article came out, guess what GFN started doing? They started bundling months of its paid subscription with Row Company. That's more than a coincidence as far as I'm concerned. So again, for all intents and purposes, GFN is not perfect. For those of us that are used to the juicy steak, I don't want to have my heart broken twice. If quote unquote Stadia is dead, I had to go through that mental exercise. This is not sustainable. Now they give some bullet points on how it could be sustainable. It could they could change the pricing structure and remove the free tier or add more expensive tiers to migrate users. They could secure more telecom deals in Western markets. You're talking about the 5G to bring business to business revenue streams. Now, this is the same thing that Stadia is alluding to that they're going to do. That doesn't mean that Geforce Now would die as a retail entity, and it doesn't mean the same for Stadia. So that helps bolster that point that this analyst is talking about. It could develop entirely new business-to-business revenue stream. Again, what Stadia is proposing, and it could eventually negotiate some share of sales made through. But they say this is something that they don't necessarily think that Nividia is going to do because they've spoken out against it. I'm going to read you this last paragraph. None of these approaches are necessarily a route to profitability, considering the infrastructure and service delivery costs associated with cloud gaming. So the fundamental question remains, what is Nividia's strategic aim with Geforce Now? Nividia's participation in cloud gaming is partially driven by a need to be active in the market because cloud gaming has the potential to disrupt its core GPU business and shift consumers away to hardware services in the cloud. No, therefore, Nividia wants to be active in there. That's the only silver lining here with GFN's current business model, is that because Nividia realized way back when that as the cloud gets stronger, it can attack its GPU business market. They wanted to get in it early, and they're underpricing early. And maybe if it gets more accepted, then they can raise the price and it'll still have some, it'll gain profitability. But here's the problem with that. Stadia was trying to do the same thing. They were trying to plug money and stand by and invest for the future with SG&E. And then they started realizing on the cloud front, they're getting backhanded with the baby powder in the hand. So then they said to themselves, you know what? We got to act for the now. So what if AMD, now AMD ain't quite there, but they keep inching closer and closer to closing the enthusiasm gap between their products and Nividia. Everybody thought these 6800 cards was going to do it. Didn't quite do it, but they're getting closer. What if AMD comes out with a product that does slap Nividia's cards? Nividia's going to be forced to look at where their money's tied up and make similar moves to Stadia if possible, or if necessary. And again, in a proposal like that, gamers would have their hearts broken twice. So my question to the cloud gaming community is, why ain't y'all reporting on this? I see some. Also, like, I'll give you one example. I'm not going to say he's the only one. My brother Chase was on this. But I don't see, I see nothing but roses and candy-filled dreams when it comes to GFN. The current business model is not sustainable. In cloud community, I need you to look out for me. I need y'all to start talking about this. Whether you feel differently or not about it, talk about it. Like, I feel differently about Stadia being closed down and becoming a white label, but I still talk about it. That's how you service the community. Stop letting our emotions drive the content. I think we have a responsibility to the people. I talk about things I necessarily don't agree with. And I break down why I don't agree with it, but I at least talk about it, because somebody might hear my explanation and say, well, MM2K, I see where you're coming from, brother, but I don't agree with you. This is an issue for me. Thank you for informing me. Now, I've been sitting on this for months. I've just been talking about it in videos because most of my content is focused on Stadia. That's why I haven't brought it up until now. I've been sitting on this for months. We need to talk about this. The model is not sustainable. So what is GFN going to do if they become the apparent heirs if a Stadia does die? We need to talk about it. With that said, I'm going to go to the chat real quick. We're going to talk about this Terraria. I'm just going to be late picking up my wife. She's going to kick my ass. She's going to kick my ass. Gandara 6590 said there is no loyalty amongst GFN users because their game library is not. Yeah, I totally agree. I knew this beforehand because, again, I deal in the mainstream circles, and I already knew this before I saw this article. The overwhelming majority of people that are on GFN are your dedicated device hogs who like tinkering with GFN or playing it while they're on the go. They're not the cloud gaming community like you and I, who are willing to make monetary investments in cloud gaming because cloud gaming is really what suits us best. No, the majority of people that are in GFN are the people that are in GFN for GFN free. You don't believe me? Track GFN versus Stadia. You'll see that they're running neck and neck. But when you track GFN free versus Stadia, you'll see that GFN free is what's creating the gap between GFN and Stadia. It's GFN free. The majority of people in this platform are the ones playing the free platform. It's the 5% that are in it for the sole cloud gaming experience that are talking it up, but they're not talking about everything. So someone like you that's not the wiser, that if Stadia does go and you're like, oh, well, I'll go to GFN because everybody in this cloud circle is talking great about that, and then you find out that that model wasn't sustainable and something happens, then you're sitting there like, well, what the hell's going on here? I might as well just go get a console. We gotta keep it factual. We gotta put everything on the table. Or we stand to lose our credibility long term. We gotta put everything, whether you agree with it or not, put it on the table and explain why you personally don't agree with it. But we gotta put everything on the table. Otherwise, we're doing a disservice. They need to have a tier of GFN that's like the older model or the service on the Shield. They got to do something because it's not sustainable. Yeah, read that tier article. Yeah, let me get into that. But I just want to, last time I tried GFN was consistently getting a connection error, and even at the highest bit rate, the image sharpness was really bad, looked like 720p. Couple more comments, and then we're going to move to Terraria. Happy Cloud Gamer says Steam continues position, and this weekend set a new record with 26 million users were logged at the same time. Now I think it's coming to get bigger. Steam is out in. Yep, that was a great track by Sting. But do you see what I'm saying, y'all? I can't wholeheartedly say, even though I believe, and I believe more so now as the days persist, I can't wholeheartedly say what's going to happen with Stadia. Stadia got to get out in front of that message. They got to do a better job of it, and they can't be tone deaf. They can't sit there and they can't lean on, well, it's going to be, this was our business circulation. Then you got to do multiple communications. And then I got fears about Amazon. Amazon is utilizing a niche business model, which is a subscription model. We've done the numbers on this platform. The Netflix subscription model to gaming is 1.6 billion. The Netflix subscription model for gaming is maximum 30 million subscribers. Its target demo is 1.6 billion gamers. That's less than 2%. And I know we talk about Xbox. Yeah, Xbox is at 18 million. It's the king of niche. Game Pass is the king of niche for a niche product. And they needed to do more numbers, hence why they pulled the move that they pulled a couple of weeks ago that was unsuccessful, trying to put you in a position to hurry up and jump on Game Pass by raising the price of Xbox Live Gold. People met that with a resounding hell no. We won't go. So I got my fears on Amazon, and they can't sit there and have beyond the betaville for the rest of their life. It's an abuse of the word beta. Beta just means, the underlying product that we're giving you may not perform at its apex. That's what a beta is. Now everybody's trying to use beta to mean everything. We ain't talking to you. We hardly giving you this. We don't meet timelines. No. Beta doesn't mean our failures are acceptable. No, that's not what beta means. Beta means is that the overlying product is not at a state where it performs its best. It's going to perform better than this for our intended retail version, but we're going to let you in early. And there are paid betas and free betas. But there's still constant communications with betas. There's still regular, updates, apologies with betas. You don't see that with Amazon. They're silent and check your inbox. They've missed so many milestones, it's crazy. So that's another thing to worry about. And then we heard their stories about how they threw $500 million at games and they done fizzled. And they said, well, if we try again, we might do better. We just got to keep trying if we try again. That doesn't speak to me on how you're going to fix these problems. And again, I'm not saying that to say Stadia is in a better position. Again, I'm going through the exercise because it's not a zero-sum game. I'm going through the mental exercise if Stadia doesn't exist. If Stadia doesn't exist, then now what? Now we're going to have to compound on this. And guess if we don't compound on it early now, guess who is? The mainstream media who's being nice to GFN and Amazon right now because they want to beat the biggest and baddest proposal to cloud gaming. But once that's gone, it's on to the next one. We can't be naive about that. We just can't. Hellmonkey, GFN was running good for me. Never had an issue with it. I did not keep it due to GFN missing the games I like to play. And again, that's understandable. Most of the major publishers have signed away from GFN. So we want these all to get better. So we got to put everything on the table about all of them. I can very easily tell you I'm not entertaining anything about Stadia closing down because I don't believe it. No, we entertain it a lot here, don't we? We put everything on the table. We don't just go and caveat information that makes our opinions look good. We put the information on the table, and we got to make in our own ability to argue those beliefs is what we stand by. And if you can't argue your own beliefs after putting everything on the table, that's a reflection on you. And I didn't come up with that. My English teacher told me that a long time ago. If you're writing a paper and you can't do, when you do a thesis paper, you got to do a thesis, 3 examples, a rebuttal, and a counter to that rebuttal. And if you can't do a rebuttal and counter that rebuttal effectively, then maybe your stance isn't the right one. Maybe that's a wake-up call to you that you need to jump on something else because what you're feeling emotionally might be wrong. Or you just need to think about it harder. But let's put everything out on the table, cloud community, because again, I'm not going to sit there and be naive and say, oh no, Stadia's going to be here forever. I don't know. And if it isn't here forever, then I got to think of what's next. And the proposal of what next is not that much more enlightening, period. On a Terraria. Here's what I think about it. I got to be honest with you, cloud gaming community, and y'all put y'all thoughts into this right now. As petty as it sounds, we won't keep it real here. I got to keep it real here. I'm sorry. Hopefully they don't give me a copyright strike. I got to keep it real here. As a content creator and stuff. As childish as it sounds of what the Terraria person did, and it is, it's not a good precedent for him as the CEO or co-founder. It's really going to dismantle his deals going forward. And sometimes when we're small guys and we think small, we stay in our small places. Somebody said, hey, when you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. And I do think it was stupid for him to do it this way. Why? Because Stadia has clearly shown you that despite there could be hellfire and brimstone, the damn the rapture and Armageddon can be happening around Stadia, and they still gonna be in their office doing business as usual. They don't care. That despite how bad it may be if Terraria doesn't come, they might say, you know what, we don't like you don't bully us. And they might just say, to hell with it. The game just ain't coming. Screw it. Excuse me, because apparently he ain't they're still going to make money of it. He's not pulling it from Google Play. So and then he's frauding too. He's not pulling it from Google Play, y'all. But I will say that despite the stupidity of it and the fact that he may get a stupid prize for approaching this stupidly, because you're dealing with a conglomerate, a Fortune 500 company, and you're not going to be able to. Terraria ain't enough bargaining chips for you to bully a Fortune 500 company. I'm sorry that I got what I got to say about Stadia and Google, but you're not bullying Google with Terraria. Ain't enough bargaining, ain't enough Django in the bag. That being said, I can get his frustration. And it speaks to, there's two stories here. Number one, the CEO, I think it's a young guy too. The CEO, he really got to mature his mindset. I get his frustration, but it doesn't look good, especially with future partners too. Like other partners are going to be looking at this. Like Xbox, they're going to be looking at this. And it's going to leave a side when you, even though it's versus a competitor, when you handle your business like this, it leaves a sour taste in the mouth of other people. And it's going to hamper other deals that he has. He's going to have a problem. He is. Regardless of the success or the demand for Terraria, he's going to have a problem. So that's why I say it's stupid. When you play stupid games, you get stupid prize. It was done for him to handle it this way. That being said, I get the frustration. And the YouTube process is horrendous. And it's getting worse and worse by the day. Like, right, I will tell you right now, I get so many copyright claims on songs that I use that Google told me I could use, but simply because some dumbass went and took the same songs, created a fake album with those songs, and then went back to YouTube and said, this is my copyrighted material. And YouTube said, oh, okay. So I got to go through each of these and protest these. It's ridiculous and it's disgusting that I can get his frustration. I got a copyright strike one time, tried to address it, and they ain't deal with me for 3 months. Shut down my channel. And thank God that I rock with the broadband bullies. I was able to keep rocking and rolling, and my brother helped me get my footing on Twitter, and we continue like nothing ever stopped. So that's why I tell y'all, don't just rely on YouTube. Have something else in the background too. I get his frustration, and that's another story. And I know 9 to 5 Google was hinting towards that. It is a big problem. It is definitely a big problem. But he handled it in one of the most stupidest ways. All right, I want to get you guys' thoughts on this, and then we got to roll. This guy was trying to sort it out for months, and he had his email shut down. Yeah, that ain't cool. Again, like I said, it's definitely a problem. Well, some left is more deep. A lot of us get sick of waiting as other people are playing the games. This is my issue with it. He says, Thomas Collins says, MM2K, you are wrong. Oh, okay. MM2K, you are wrong. This guy was trying to sort it out for my. Oh, no. Thomas, I already said I've been there. I know the game of what happens here. But what he did is he played this game of I'm gonna cause you bad controversy with Stadia because I know it's bad, it's going bad right now. I'm gonna cause you controversy with Stadia, and I'm gonna pull the game, and I'm gonna do all this talk like I'm big and bad, and I'm pulling the game regardless of what contracts might be, the publishing contracts. And it's all fraudulent because he left the game on Google Play. We can't damage control that. But I get why he was angry. Now, could he have said, look, I would have just put something out there like, look, with all the angst with Google right now and all the stuff going on with Stadia and attacks on the brand, it's not a good look, Google, for me to try to transition Terraria on your platform and my Google account is locked. Like, someone reach out to me. He still would have got attention, but it wouldn't have been this cluster blank that it is now. This is going to have long-term ramifications, trust me. As someone with the Fortune 500 experience, Microsoft and other people are going to look at this, and it's going to hurt him in the long run. I'm sorry, Thomas, but I get why he was angry. Mr. I guess you're talking about GFN. GFN always ran well for me, but I dropped due to the inconsistent games I wanted to play. Yeah. All right. This man is going to get sued. That's a possibility, Bippity. That's a possibility. I get why he was angry, but yeah, he did it stupidly. I suggest that 150 went to work for Stadia shorts. Stadia need to use that money on what they can. Absolutely. All right, y'all. I got to roll. I'm like 15 minutes late getting out of here. I should have been out of here 15 minutes ago, but I wanted to talk to y'all even though I was running late. So thank y'all so much for y'all patience and everything. Love you guys. I got a video that I think I'm going to drop later today talking more about Terraria and giving more insight on it. But with that said, I want to thank y'all so much for y'all participation, y'all appreciation. Stay tuned for that video. It's going to drop, I want to say, in about 3 hours. So that's 4:15 Eastern Standard Time, around 7:15 UK, and what was that? 1:15 PST. All right. With that said, love you all. Thank you so much for your participation. And you all have a wonderful gaming day. Thomas says this will improve Google for people like no, it won't. No, it won't. I'm gonna say this real quick. Listen to my last several videos. Google doesn't care. Their appetite for reputational risk is a lot stronger than it should be, but they don't care. This is going to sour things more than it is going to strengthen things. I think he may have miscalculated. I think you and him are miscalculating Google. Google is not your regular company. That is a serious miscalculation, and they'll see. But again, when you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. I'm sorry. I get it. I get the frustration. I've lashed out at Google over these practices, but what he tried to play hostage with and the fact that he was caught frauding, not taking it off of everything Google, no, that was bad. All right, y'all. Peace out. Have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.